Dear students, welcome to UGC Pathshala. I am Professor Sandhya from School of Economics, University of Hyderabad. Today we are going to learn the module on Encke's application of cost-benefit analysis to investment in family planning and its criticism. The learning objective is to know the details of the methodology of Encke in calculating the costs and benefits of preventing a birth. You will also learn in this module the criticism about the methodology that he has followed. In cost-benefit analysis, the general issue is that of weighing the costs involved in a program against the benefits anticipated from the program. The benefits are individual-oriented, family-oriented and community-oriented. While there can be a debate on appropriate measure for gains for family planning program, generally agreed measure is the benefit per birth prevented. For costs, the cost per birth prevented. Some studies were done on cost-benefit analysis for family planning program in India. A study on the vasectomy program in Madras by Repetto provided only the total cost from which the average program cost could be worked out after suitably discounting the future costs. Even this estimate ignored certain components. Encke in 1996 compared the costs of different methods per user for the underdeveloped areas in general. Mahajan in 1996 calculated the average cost per birth averted through intrauterine devices and vasectomies in India by dividing the program costs by estimated the number of births averted. Zaidon in 1971 attempts a broader treatment and estimates the cost of preventing a birth as the actual government expenditure per birth averted plus the reduced output resulting from the slower rate of growth of the labor force under conditions of declining fertility. Similarly, the benefits were considered in three components: the discounted consumption stream of an unborn child, the government savings on educational expenses, and the wage productivity effect resulting in higher per capita output and income due to increased food consumption per capita. Kelly's study marks a distinct improvement over these. It attempts to obtain disaggregated estimates of costs for Puerto Rico through production function, focusing on marginal costs rather than the average cost. It also takes into account the resource cost of contraceptive side effects. Costs are suitably discounted. Births prevented are estimated through local demographic data. Another study by Horlacher in 1973 carried out an econometric analysis of the benefits of family planning in India. It was an attempt to develop a macro model with special emphasis to analyze the impact for family planning program in general. Encke adopted the following methodology to arrive at costs and benefits for preventing a birth. He calculated the superior effectiveness of investment in reducing births by a hypothetical example. Superior effectiveness of investment in reducing births. Here, the output is V and P is the population. So, the ratio between V by P per head or output per head or per capita income can be increased by larger investing resources or, on the other hand, smaller population denominator. Suppose $0.5 million of resources are available invested in medical and contraceptive resources each year in a birth reduction program which stresses the use of IUDs. The cost per participant each year is about $1. There are 5 lakhs participants on an average each year during the period 1965-75. The live births of a typical woman participant is 0.15 infants per year. Thus, the reduction in births over 10 years will be 0.75 million infants. In 1965, population was 5 millions and the per capita income in this example is accordingly $100. Then, the proportionate change in national population due to this investment is 0.15. If $5 million over 10 years gives a proportionate change of 0.15, when used to retard population growth, a change in output of 0.0015 when invested to accelerate output growth, the superior effectiveness ratio of birth reduction over output expansion is 100 times. President Johnson in General Assembly in San Francisco in 1965 stated, "Let us act on the fact that less than $5 invested in birth control is worth $100 invested in economic development." So that shows the importance of the birth control investment according to this. Table 1 gives superior effectiveness ratio. The rows are the returns to capital R and the columns are rates of fertility of women practicing contraception F. The superiority ratio between the two varies inversely as given in table 1. Now we have to calculate the value of preventing a birth. Value of a preventing birth for government is that it can increase outputs disposable in future to those alive today. What does a typical infant ultimately cost to its society measured at the time of birth? What does it mean to preventing a birth? 15 years estimates. Any birth prevented between 1965 and 1980 affects consumption immediately but cannot affect the output significantly during that time because of lag. To set the present discount value of the consumption released if a country does not have 1000 infants born this year, it is necessary to assume survival expectations for a country with a per capita income of $100 yearly, from which 10% is saved. The present value of preventing a birth in the sense of released consumption over 15 years is $280 at an interest rate of 15%. At 10% it becomes $384 and at 20% it becomes $212. Such estimate scale approximately with the per capita income from $100 up to $500. In a country with an output per head of $250 annually, these worths for 10%, 15% and 20% would roughly be $960, $700 and $530 respectively. Now let us look at the total life estimates. Theoretically, the present discounted value of typical infant's consumption, which is negative, and production, which is positive, after 15 years should be included. Roughly in a country where the per capita income equals to $100, a typical undiscounted net surplus during 15 to 55 years, that is the economically active working age years, is perhaps no more than $840. Practically a 15% return, the present value of this will become $840 is an insignificant 17 at date of birth. This gives net $263 at 15% for a country with a per capita income of $100. Accordingly, very generally stated, the worth of preventing a birth in a typical less developed country is about 2.6 times the output per head, which is arrived by the following. As a standard per 1000 population, 400 are under 15 and 600 are above 15 years age group. If output per head is $100 yearly and consumption is 90, the under 15 may be consuming $70 on an average or $28,000 worth. The over 15s are then consuming $62,000 worth or $104 each. Output per head for over 15s is then $167, but perhaps 0.25 of this is attributable to capital and land. Thus, over 15s each add $125 to output each year as workers and consume $104. Their net contribution is then $21 a year as workers, discounted at 0.15 by years from birth. This is about $17. Meaning of prevention and postponement. The value will differ for prevention or postponement of a birth. The probability of the birth this year must be 1 without contraception and 0 with birth control. Most realistic probably is the case of birth postponement. This calculation depends on the fertility rate of exposed and fertile women, considering only pregnable women and excluding those who are already pregnant or have not resumed menses following childbirth. Perhaps this rate F is 0.25 for such women in their 20s. Effective contraceptive practice during a year, assuming the value of F in immediately following years is not altered, then it prevents 0.25 of an infant during the current year. Thus, if the value of permanently preventing a birth is $260, the value of postponing it for 1 year is 0.25 of $260, or it is $65. This value declines as women age and F falls. Sterilization is the only birth control method. Births are completely prevented. If a married man has a vasectomy, the present discounted value of the probable future children his wife would otherwise have can be estimated. This in turn should be multiplied by the value of permanently preventing a birth. As estimated above, for a country where per capita output is $100, this may be about $260. Then, taking some typical fertility rates, the present discounted value of a vasectomy is roughly $275, where the wife is 25 years old, and $193 when she is 30 years old, and $148 at 35 years old. Thus, there is an inverse relationship between the discounted value and the age of the wife. Now, let us look at the economic costs of reducing births. The resource cost of reducing birth is extraordinarily low relative to the apparent economic worths. For a major national program stressing a reasonable mix of methods with emphasis upon intrauterine devices, over 5 years the annual cost per participant is under $1, and the cost per birth prevented during the half decade is probably $5. Cost of methods. Certain methods have a fixed starting cost for initial training, devices, etc., with very low or zero recurring costs thereafter. Examples are withdrawal, rhythm, diaphragm, IUD, and vasectomy. Other methods have low or zero starting costs but relatively high recurrent costs. Examples are condoms, foam tablets, and especially pills. These estimates are of resource costs assume that participants volunteer without expensive propaganda campaigns and are independent of whether government or acceptor pays varying fractions of these costs. Table 2 gives hypothetical costs and effectiveness of alternative contraceptive methods during the 5-year period. In Table 2, the cost and effectiveness of alternative contraceptive measures during 5-year program is given. The various methods are no method, zero control, and withdrawal, rhythm, condoms, foam tablets, diaphragm, pills, and IUDs, and vasectomy. In the columns, the data is described as follows. Column 1 gives cost per user for 5 years. Column 2 gives data on pregnancies prevented for 5 years. Column 3 gives cost for each pregnancy prevented, and column 4 gives cost each birth prevented. Column 5 gives birth prevented per $1 million, and column 6 gives acceptors per $1 million. In the table of cost effectiveness comparisons, rough cost estimates given in column 1 must be compared with the estimates of effectiveness given in column 2. The 5-year cost of column 1 divided by the 5-year effectiveness, that is pregnancies prevented, estimates of column 2 give the 5-year cost per pregnancy prevented in column 3. These are multiplied by 1.67, allowing for miscarriages, abortions, stillbirths, and fatalities shortly after birth to give the 5-year cost per birth prevented given in column 4. What is the best method? Column 5 gives us the answer for this. It gives the birth prevented per $1 million withdrawal is then preferable to all other methods because 3 million births, that is 5 million pregnancies, are prevented by withdrawal. The 4 million actual participants shown in column 6 are less than potential of 10 million. If the budget exceeds $2.5 million over 5 years, in this instance, the effective constraint will be participants and not the funds. Given 10 million actual rather than potential acceptors, regardless of the method that maximizes births prevented, at successively higher budget above $2.5 million, the best method in each case will have a lower effectiveness to cost ratio. Hence, the truly best method is that associated with the best budget. And the best of all the budgets is that which equates the cost and worth of preventing births and the margin. Figure 1 explains this optimization. The vertical axis gives expected pregnancies and the horizontal axis gives expected costs over 5 years. The scatter points represent the data of column 1 and column 2 given in table 2. So, this scatter diagram explains from the figure efficient methods are whichever method is linking points representing zero control, withdrawal, IUD and vasectomy. The inefficient methods are not linked, so they are with higher costs or more expected pregnancies or rhythm, diaphragm, condoms and tablets. While the pill is so costly, it cannot be plotted in the diagram. A shift to IUDs from withdrawal means an extra cost of 1.75 per acceptor and an extra pregnancy prevention of 0.55 over 5 years for a marginal cost per pregnancy prevented of $3.17. The question is whether $3.17 or $10 is the best reflects the economic worth of preventing a pregnancy in the sense of at least postponing it for average period of 5 years. Considering even a low income country with a output per capita of $100 a year, where the value of preventing a birth permanently among participants for 5 years on an average is worth almost $200. Accordingly, government would be justified in using $30 million worth of resources on vasectomies for 10 million men over 5 years, reducing pregnancies by 19 millions during this period. This would be better than spending 20 million on IUDs, reducing pregnancies by 18 millions, given the assumption of 10 million acceptors regardless of the method. Costs of different mixes of methods is given in table 3. The sensitivity of program costs to different mixes of methods used are given in this following table. The number of rows has the following information. Methods mix number of acceptors percentage. The methods are condoms, foams, IUDs, vasectomies, reduced pregnancies 5 years, costs 5 years per 100, costs acceptor per year, costs per reduced per pregnancy. The columns are, the mixes are A, B, C. The increasing use of IUDs instead of foams by women and vasectomies instead of condoms by men increases contraceptive effectiveness and reduces costs. A typical less developed country comprises of about 16 men and 16 women per 100 population who are fecund and exposed to reproduction. If these women who cannot conceive or want to conceive are deducted, perhaps 8 women or their partners per 100 population are eligible in any 1 month to practice birth control. Realistically, there will be some rotation of participants among these groups so that perhaps 10% of the population are involved in any year. The cost per acceptor per year varies with the mix of contraceptive methods used, but with mix B as given in table 3, this is $1. Table 4 gives estimates of costs of birth reduction programs relative to national development budgets for 10 selected countries. The countries selected are Brazil, Colombia, India, Korea, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, Taiwan, Tunisia and Turkey. Column 1 gives the population figures of these countries. Column 2 gives estimated cost of family planning program in these countries in $1 million per year. Column 3 gives total cost of development programs in $1 million per year. Then column 4 gives relative costs of program to reduce birth in percentages. The data of table 4 shows an adequate birth control program in these 10 countries might cost as little as 10 cents per capita yearly, equivalent to about 1% of the cost of current development programs. So, birth control program has to be preferred to the other development programs. Using resources and bonuses to increase participation, the possible uses of bonuses to encourage family planning, whether paid in cash or kind, is obvious in countries where the worth of permanently preventing birth is roughly twice the income per head. The bonuses that are used in India are incentives given to family planning adopters. Now let us look at the criticism on Encke's method. The above method has given a detailed description of the calculation of the costs prevented per birth and the benefits due to birth prevention, and it has proved that the benefits are more than the costs, and it is better to invest in birth control program than other programs to achieve benefits for the country. But however, it also has drawn certain criticism. In less developed countries, rapid population growth keeps down the level of savings and investment, and the rate of growth of national income makes unemployment problems more serious, discourages technological change and industrialization by providing cheap labor, weakens the resource base of the economy, particularly for agriculture, and aggravates the poor condition of health and education. No doubt that rapid population growth weakens the growth inducing factors of the country as mentioned above, but the assumption that the demographic conditions in an underdeveloped country are such that every birth has a negative present value, investment in preventing births will be more productive than any alternative use of the investable resources may be correct, but it may lead to the absurd proposition that no other investment other than population control should be undertaken till the demographic situation changes significantly. Decisions regarding family limitation cannot be regarded as the same as decisions regarding number of cattle in the farm, because decisions of family limitations are made in the households where social and economic factors may influence the decision making about the number of children and the composition of sex of children that a couple wanted to have. The choices made by parents regarding family limitation are bound to be highly subjective and are likely to vary very much from one family to another family. The society valuation of children by merely counting the foregone consumption by the parents or the society will be meaningless. Another complication in this matter to be attaching values to the number of children parents would like to have. It varies to the first or second child as compared with the third children or children born subsequently, and also to a male and female children. Attaching the same value to the children born to parents belonging to different caste groups and religious groups or income levels is an incorrect assumption. The valuation of benefits arising out of population control programs should therefore be considered as an extremely difficult task. We have to formulate a social welfare function in which we will have children as well as consumption goods as variables, then one can make a comparison between the two. But calculating social welfare function is not an easy task, if not difficult. we have to formulate a social welfare function in which we will have children as well as consumption goods as variables to make a comparison. But calculating social welfare function is not an easy task. Thank you.